Hello, it's a general reading for this week, 15th to 22nd, I think. Using this gold foil tarot, the pretty one. Lovely little shadow cards. And I'm going to clarify with the Light Seers deck. Oh, this one's going to come out. And the Oracle card, Katrina Jane, Solitary Witch, and Super Attractor. So the first one that's come out is Judgment in reverse. Hanged Man, upright. Emperor, whoa, kicking off this general reading with a lot of major arcana energy. Four of Swords. Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. Ace of Cups, upright. So pretty, that card. Temperance. Knight of Pentacles reversed. Oh, two together. Ten of Cups reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed. Hermit, upright. Two of Cups reversed. And Six of Wands upright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana. 1, 2, 3 people cards. That's two knights in reverse and a queen in reverse. So some really big energy, and we are about to close off the astrological year. So we're going from ending the year in Pisces season, and we're about to start, once the end of sort of towards the end of March, we're about to start Aries season. So we are closing out this cycle, which in our general reading was very prominent at the beginning of the year. And here we're seeing some very big energies that you're going to be moving into. So this next cycle is probably not only just for a year, but it's possibly going to spread into 2027 towards the end of 28. So things that you're doing now are having some really big impacts on you. And you know, there is a vibe of like I said, major decisions, but let's see where this is going. So Judgment in reverse. You may feel that something's not quite going in your favour, something's a little bit unfair. It may be that that is just a feeling and not an actual thing, because we've got the Hanged Man here. So perhaps you're feeling because you don't know, or because you're having to wait, that's a period of pause. Or maybe it's because you're having to look at things from a different perspective. Because when we do that, we might feel a little unsettled, and we might feel a little bit like that means things aren't going to plan. And I'm getting that is because you've made a plan, but things are having to shift. It's a moving part that's moving, and you need to shift your focus and shift your perspective. You are probably about to enter into a period where you are taking control of your world. And this is why this is going to be a very long-lasting energy. The Emperor carves out their environment. They create a team around them, whether that's a family team, that stems from a relationship becoming more grounded, whether you're growing a new business and you're planning out the ideas, or whether you're in a current employment and you're taking on sort of more of a role, your boss is giving you more responsibility, because this Emperor will structure and plan not just like what's happening today, but what is happening over the next decade. And this is why we're getting really big energies, because you are thinking about and ruminating and changing your views on something perhaps you thought was going to go ahead. And now you are seeing a bigger picture. You're looking at where these plans are going to take you. You're looking at how you're going to increase your income. You're looking at how you're going to relate to the people around you, and how you're going to build a stable team, a stable family, a stable relationship, because you are now tired and ready to end the cycle of 2025. I know many of us think, well, we've already started into this, but as I said, this is an astrological change. So we're closing out that astrologically, and we're about to enter the new phase. And there's no coincidence that the Emperor is an Aries card. Okay, and then we've got this Four of Wands. So the reason there may have been a pause is because you've needed to rest. You've needed to take a pause, and you've needed to get some healing done. And you could have actually been physically ill, as well as just pausing and reflecting. So now, as you close out February and March, or if you are seeing this, I am getting specific timing for this reading. So I am getting a now reading, but it could be that you see this later down the line and you reflect and see that this was a time you started changing things, and perhaps you just got a feeling that you had to go with something. So you've been pausing because you've been unwell. You've been pausing because there's been a change in circumstances. You've been pausing because you're in a new relationship and you don't know quite how it's going to go, or you might have started new employment. So this is really lovely, powerful energy that I'm hoping you're going to take advantage of, because it's definitely laying the groundwork. So even if you're not ready to move into your new business, or you're not ready to move into that new employment, perhaps you're on holiday, perhaps you've still got a few more things that you want to sort of get under your belt before you enter that new employment, or perhaps it's very early stages with a new relationship, or you're moving it into a different stage. But don't be alarmed by the wait. You just need to use that time to look from a different angle and see where you're going with this. Now, it was very peoply. We've got the Queen of Wands in reverse. So one of the pauses might have also been that you had lacked some creativity. You didn't know what you were going to do. You didn't know how you were going to pull it together. And perhaps you were feeling a little off sorts. Maybe you weren't feeling particularly attractive, charismatic, energetically aligned with what you were hoping to do. And perhaps you have stalled because of that energetic energy, which is why you need to, if you're currently still in that rest mode, why you need to sort of calm yourself and just see, well, this is how I am at the moment, and make space for this creativity to occur. And whatever it is you're brewing, when we see this card here, this Ace of Cups, this is an emotional gift to you. It's your cup is overflowing. And what I'm loving here in this particular card is this, I think it's a dove. It's a dove. So when there was a big flood and the rain was pouring, Noah sent the dove out to find land and see if it was ready. So if you've been healing from some life traumas, some difficult times, perhaps you're financially restricted, or perhaps you're emotionally upset, or you've been through a divorce, whatever the blocks are to your future, you're about to get some massive emotional healing. So this pause from creativity, this pause from vibrancy is not the end. It's the winter. You're about to enter into your spring when this will flip upright. And so this also is like taking a look at the bigger picture and energetically and emotionally align with what you're about to move into. And temperance is going to help you. Now, this is a rainbow, and it's funny that I should have been called to say about Noah and the ark, because of course, regardless of whether you're religious, that story tells us that that was God's promise of a better time. So this period, this end of the astrological season, coming into the brand new astrological year, this is your promise of a better time. You don't know, you're trusting this little dove and looking for the signs. You're looking for that dove to come back with a twig and a sign that ahead is fertile and that is going to reap the rewards. And it is. So you might be waiting to plant your seed, because Knight of Pentacles, is normally, when it's upright, is all about that very boring, monotonous groundwork that we have to do to grow something. And it's currently in reverse. So when you come out of this resting period, that you are going to have to, and maybe this is why you're feeling a bit reversed Queen of Wands, you're going to have to put in that hard groundwork, and perhaps that's making you feel a little less than sparkly. But that groundwork is promising that when you do that, and when the time is right to start ploughing your field, putting in the seed, waiting, you've probably got another year or season at least before you start seeing the results of that. So the timing of your activities is extremely important. It's crucial to what harvest you're going to get. So be very guided by this. Act in your emperor and know when the time is right to strike. Really loving that. Then these two cards came out, the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Cups in reverse. So you might not be saying too much about it. You might be keeping quiet. Be careful that the stress of what has been is not causing you to become very vocal and not in a positive way and cause disharmony. There might be some disruption whilst you're trying to plan. Perhaps people around you are not too sure what you're doing. Perhaps they don't understand how much pressure you're under, and perhaps it's very difficult for you because you're looking for that external support. And of course it is, because you are acting as the emperor. You're having to take control, and that is a very burdensome role, but it's not without its benefits. I'm getting a timing with this. We're seeing a long-term energy. So it might be not till September you start seeing this rainbow appearing, this promise of a better future. And you're just still having to slog on for a moment. And I really hate to tell you that, because I can relate to that, where you're having to put in energy and you can't see the result, or you're waiting on an outcome. Perhaps you're waiting on an outcome of a contract that's gone wrong because we've got the Judgment there, or the outcome of your own contracts that you've put into place. And then the Two of Cups there looks like a failed partnership. So Sorry, my video stopped there. So if you're looking to move on from a partnership or leave a partnership, leave a business, leave a business partnership, leave an employment, leave an actual person or an actual relationship, or you're cutting down something else, then that is what is going to be impacting you. And that could sort of finally come to, it could take 9 months to get there, but I'm feeling that that is what's led you to this decision anyway. And those choices are going to lead you to this. Well, there doesn't seem much there to clarify, but I'm going to pull some of these oracle cards, and we'll look at those in a minute, but I will run through the clarifying deck because it looks very straightforward. It's a long, slow process, but it's a good process. And I think you've got a lot to look forward to if you can wait and put in the work. Well, yes, because the King of Wands. So he is entrepreneurial. So currently your vibrancy is in rest. It's a bit dormant. Not surprising, we've come out of winter, but we're also closing off this past difficult period of for some people very long time, sort of. So I think a reflection of how difficult things have been. This video is stopping, starting. So I was saying that this King of Wands is, you know, it's entrepreneurial. It's a sign of you taking control. Also, I'm noticing that it's reflecting that timing scale that I got earlier when I saw the Hermit, because the Hermit September, this is Leo season, so August, September. So I feel like you are going to have to wait for that period of time. And I've got a feeling I've said that somewhere else in another general reading, which had very long-term plans to. Hanged Man again, yes. So waiting, taking a different perspective, looking at things in a different way. It's green there. The waiting's also going to allow you to heal. The High Priestess, another 2. You know, you're not trusting your intuition. You are being very strongly guided, and you need so waiting for everything that you've put this work in, that you're going to be putting this work in for the next sort of 6 to 9 months, and you're going to be well rewarded for that. One more card from that, and then we'll look at the oracles. The Chariot. So you've got the willpower to push this through, and it's also a little bit fated. You've been led to this by some higher promise of that rainbow, and you are completely in control. You're an emperor. You're an emperor. And you're a King of Wands. And this energy is going to really pick up, and you're going to start feeling this. So let's have a look at this Katrina Jane oracle. See what they've got to say there. Patience. So yes, exactly that. You're going to feel a little frustrated at times about how long it's going to take, but maybe not if you put in the planning. If you put in the planning and you're waiting, and you know what the time scales are, it won't feel as bad as if you've got unrealistic expectations. Solitary Witch. Ancestors and Apples. So using your skills, and again, she's waiting for this harvest. Look at her, she's reaching up. So you have got some innate skills that are going to help you get there. And there's a timing to put this into place. So if you're pausing now because it's the spring of your project, you need to wait until autumn for those apples to arrive. And I don't know why I've pulled them out, because I actually put some aside, and so you couldn't It's unbelievable. Anyway, so smile. Smile during this period to remind you that your dreams are coming true, your hard work's going to be rewarded, and also imparting that energy onto other people so that they improve their day by your interactions with them. We've got the maiden and the Imbolc lamb. So we've just talked about spring. So this is the season. So you're currently going through, or you've been through a difficult time. This is changing. Your energy is going to improve. Your prospects are going to improve, and you just have to wait for the outcome, the harvest. And I am patient, knowing whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. So much about patience today. And I feel like I've needed it with this reading. I've probably made about 6 separate videos to piece together. So hopefully that comes out all right. But timing is everything. This is a really good general reading with loads of energy, and everything is going to happen in exactly the right timing once you put in the effort, once you start putting in those things that you can't see the outcome for. This is amazing. Have a lovely day.